So the first thing we're actually going to do to hook up Service Manager to Operations Manager for the configuration item, gathering of information, is to create a new account which is going to be used for that connector between Ops Manager and Service Manager. So it's just a normal domain user account, and following my sort of existing naming convention, I guess I'll just call it Service Manager SCOm. And again, nothing special, just a standard domain user. Now, on the Service Manager box, it always needs to be a member of the local user security group on the server itself, but because it's part of a domain, that's going to happen automatically. Now, we do need to make that account when we look at our user roles. We need to make it an advanced operator. Let's go to users. I'm going to add Service Manager SCOm. On my SCOm server, I need to make that account an administrator. And if we actually look at our administrators group in SCOm, it actually contains the local administrators group. So user role members is built-in administrators. And so the easiest way to actually make this a member is go to the groups, administrators, and I'm just going to add in here that Service Manager SCOm account. So it now has those permissions in Operations Manager as well. Back on my Service Manager box, so the next thing we actually have to do is actually prepare by importing the management packs that are used by the Operations Manager connector. So to do this, we're actually going to open up PowerShell. You need to check your execution policy. So mine's unrestricted, which is what we need. If it wasn't unrestricted, you would just use set-execution policy and then make it unrestricted. So I'm going to set location to program files. From here, we just do install. Oh, too many M's. It's an Oompa Loompa. So it's going to go through and actually install the management packs required for that connector to work. Once that's complete, we would now, if we had to change that execution policy, set it back to what it was before, and then we'll exit that. So we'll let this finish. So I've got a couple of errors onto the management packs, but we're not going to worry about those for right now. So we'll actually move on. So the next step we actually need to do is actually create the connector. And like I say, there's two types of connector. There's an alert connector. So when there's an alert in Ops Manager, it goes ahead and actually creates instance. And there's the configuration item connector, CI connector, which is really going to populate Service Manager with information from SCOm. And that's what I care about. So I'm going to go ahead and create a connector. And it's the Ops Manager CI connector. So this is going to be So we're actually going to say new here for the run as account, because we're going to do that service manager SCOm account. That worked. So these are really the management packs we're going to reconcile with between Service Manager and Operations Manager. We'll just do select all. And we'll schedule every day and create. So it's created successfully. So I'll now see a new connector here. And like our normal connectors, I can actually go in and say that it's never run yet. I can say synchronize now. Again, I can refresh this. It's going to take a second before it actually fires off, but I can keep an eye on it and track when it's actually started and its progress, or talking to SCOm and getting that information I need. So now we can see it started, it's running, and it's at 1%. So again, we're going to let this run, and then we'll come back to it. So it's completed. All I actually want to do now really quick is those two management packs that failed, we'll actually just try and import them in manually. So I'm going to try and import in those management packs. So I'm going to go to import. By default, it opens up to me a Service Manager default area. The Operations Manager packs are actually in here. They're of type MP, and the ones that failed was this System Center image library. Just try and import. It was successful there. And also we'll try and load in that Windows image library. As they both imported, so not sure why I got that earlier error, but if you do get that, then just try and manually import them going into the Operations Manager Management Pack folder, and you should be good to go. And again, because I did get that error, I'd actually probably just fire off that connector again, just to make it do a refresh, and then we'll be able to actually go in and see the items. So there's my connector. I'm going to make it do a synchronize now. It's actually very fast because I don't really have much in my environment anyway, but we'll let that run. So now we actually, that completed. Again, we have those management packs in place again. So if you did see errors, you should import those management packs manually before you went ahead and created the connector. Sort of jumped the gun a little bit on that one. But if we now actually go and look at our configuration items, if I look at a computer in my environment, I'm now actually going to see really a merging of all the information. So let's take a look at my Hyper-V server. I had information that it got from Configuration Manager, but it's now also going to have stuff that Ops Manager has discovered and knows about the machine. So I know all my hardware that I've got on the box. This is all coming from Config Manager. And we have software updates on the box, anything I may be missing. New related items, really nothing on this box. If we go and look at history, what's really cool now is that I see information from config manager. I'm going to see anything that ops manager is aware of this box, any kind of issues or alerts, anything that SCOm is aware of, it's going to be reported in here as well now. And likewise, Active Directory, any changes, it all gets put in. So really every single thing now around my environment, be it AD, config manager, or ops manager, is all visible within service manager now. So this is really cool, single pane of glass where I can see everything.